Hello, my lords and ladies, and welcome to another episode of Elden Ring. We are painting the samurai, and this is the last of the heroes. I couldn't be happier. Not that they're bad, it's just they're not exactly the greatest to paint. Quality's not that great, but we're here. And I did enjoy it in the end. It was an accomplishment, and I think you'll like it just as much as I did. As usual, I want to thank all my YouTube members. You guys are absolutely amazing. Let me know what you want to paint. We got some Chronicles of Drunagar coming up. We've got some other stuff coming up. Just got a whole bunch of stuff to paint. So stick around, hit that subscribe button. Without further ado, let's go. Alright, the first thing we are going to do is obviously before we paint this thing is scrape off all the nasty mole lines, and I spray painted it in Mechanicus Standard Gray. You can paint whatever you want. Went with a neutral color in that gray. We're going to paint all of the samurai armor. Now, there is tons of variations when I was looking up art on this miniature, and I went with the basic of the basic because the detail is just not good enough, in my opinion, to really hammer it hard with a lot of detail. So we went with just the basic stuff. So we're going to paint all the armor in the Iron Warriors and the helmet and everything that I'm doing on here. If you need to pause it to see everything when I turn it around and all that stuff, you can go ahead and do that. For the pants on our samurai, we're going to do a little Basilicanum Grey. This is probably the only speed paint we're using. You don't need to use this if you don't have it. You can use a dark gray, whatever you would like. But this just kind of saves a little bit of time, like most speed paints do. But with these tiny miniatures and lack of detail, or lack thereof, I guess I should say, speed paints to me just don't work that well. For the top part of the armor area, we're just going to do a little basic Baneblade Brown. It'll look alright once we put some wash on it, but it looks very mundane as it sits there. For the back portion of our armor, we're going to use some basic Mournfang Brown. Yeah, there we go. I don't know why I just messed that up. Probably because I'm watching something or I'm staring at something else while I'm talking to you guys. So probably shouldn't do that. Probably should be really focused here as we're painting this miniature and getting everything ready to go to move on to those big monsters in Elden Ring that we're going to get to. For our rope and our belts of our samurai, we're going to use some Thondia Brown. You can use Rhinox Hyde, you can use Dryad Bark. Any dark brown you got will do just fine. For the mask on the samurai, along with the socks of the samurai, we're doing in Skavenblight Dinge. I had to look up several pictures to see what kind of socks the samurai was wearing, or if it was feet, but it's obviously socks with sandals, the typical samurai look. So we're going with gray on both. Alright, for all of the hand wraps and areas coming down from the waist area and the left pant leg, I guess you could say, we're going to be using some World Bearers Red on this. Now, this is very Um, Card art, the reddish look, so I thought this fit pretty well. For the extremely small sliver of space you can see the face, we're using some Cadian Fleshtone, nothing crazy there. For little sandals, we're going to be using some Steel Legion Drab. Don't forget the little sandal thong parts and that are connecting to the sandal, you know what I mean. For the sheath, or the sheath, there we go. I don't know what I'm thinking here. Rhinox Hyde on that, you know what I mean. For the flame areas on the red, I don't even know what this is, the undercoat, I guess you could say. We're going to be doing like a little bit of a scraping motion, and the scraping motion is kind of like a dry brush for Troll Slayer Orange. And then we're going to do all of the raised areas, so we're kind of doing that scraping motion again on our gold areas of Retributor Armour. Now, do your best just to scrape the tops of it and then just let it sit. The key to this is to make sure you don't put too much paint on your brush, just like a dry brush, but you're just really scraping it down, not actually doing a dry brush. Alright, moving on to our wash step. And we're going to wash this baby. We're going to do all the reds and browns in Agrax Earthshade. You can also do this onto the sandals and the gray socks. I don't know if our samurai got them at Costco or Sam's Club. I'm not sure at this point. All of the metallic areas we're going to be doing in Nulin Oil. Pretty simple. And then the face in some Reikland Fleshshade, very small amount because it's so small. Alright, once your washes are completely dry, we're going to do that scraping motion again on the lower pant leg, left leg, just to brighten up those flames that we had once did, give it some life and some vibrancy. Something that has been lacking on all of these starter miniatures, some color, instead of just being mundane bleh. Alright, for our other red areas, you can put some on the left pant leg, but I left it as is. All the other red areas with the cuffs and the streamers coming down and whatnot, I'm doing some Tuskgor Fur to brighten up that red just a little bit. Alright, for some of our metal areas, to include the helmet, a little bit on the sword area, the shin guards, and you can put some onto the arm guards as well, and if you want to do a little bit on the side of each piece of metal, you can. Not the front, because that's where the gold's at, the side pieces of it. Doing some Leadbelcher there. That's up to you, though. And for some reason, I can't figure out sometimes how I don't get it into the camera. So we're going to fix that. Sometimes it's a learning experience, you know, as we're just, don't realize you're not painting into the camera after it's too late and then you've just done everything and you're kind of, you're kind of SOL. So, yeah, but we're back on camera a little bit right here, you know what I mean? Just doing a little quick reapplication of the socks and the face mask. A little Skavenblight Dinge. If you want to go a little bit lighter, you can. A little Mechanicus Standard Gray, or you could do Dawnstone if you really want to make it lighter, but it's up to you. To brighten up the brown areas, we're going to do some Doombull Brown on those. Kind of the theme we've been going with a lot of these miniatures for the heroes. Alright, moving on to the base of the miniature. We're going to be doing some Aggaros Dunes on all of the non-rock areas. Next, we're going to do all the rock areas in Basilicanum Grey. So, you don't have to do this, it's just I kind of broke it up just a little bit, just to, you know, give it some life, I guess. And then your favorite part of painting the miniature, because it means you're done, is the rim of the base. And we're doing Abaddon Black, of course. So knock that out real quick. And then you're done. Not terrible. Again, not the greatest miniature. But it's not the worst I've seen either. Some of these board games have some very poor quality control. But I did put a tuft on it to add a little bit more depth and a little bit more characterization, I guess you could say. looks decent. It'll work on the table, and it should be fun to play Elden Ring with some painted miniatures. Well, that's it for this episode. We are done with the heroes, and we are moving on to some more monsters. It should be fun. We're going to mix in some Dungeon Saga Origins, some Chronicles of Drunagar. We got some Warhammer coming up. We got a whole bunch of stuff. Just stick around, hit that subscribe button. Don't miss out on any episode. If you want to become a member, please become a member. They help me decide what I'm going to paint. So I love you all, and I will see you on the next one. Paint on.